Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. If you live in the States, then you know that August is one of the hottest months out of the year. And with that, that actually reminds me of a quote from a movie. Only in the hottest times of the year does the ghost of the jungle come out to hunt. If you know what quote that movie's from, then good for you. If not, then what we're going to be looking at today is the Invisible Predator action figure. And for the rest of this month, we'll be looking at other Predator figures too. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy. Here we have the Stealth Mode Predator, also known as the Clear Plastic Predator. He's kind of made this way to resemble the way you would be able to see through the predators as he would camouflage himself and hide in the jungle. Some people say they remember buying this guy from the toy stores or remember seeing him sitting on the shelf. That's actually not the case. This guy was a mail-away exclusive. I remember at the end of the commercial for the Aliens vs. Predator action figures, this guy was advertised. It was a limited time offer and you had to send in $10 plus 2 proofs of purchase in order to get this guy. It was for a limited time offer and you had to send in $10 plus 2 proofs of purchase from any other product in the Predator toy line. For you youngsters out there, the proof of purchase was the little barcode on the back of the action figures box. My cousin was just getting me into the Alien vs. Predator action figure line. So naturally when I saw this guy advertised, I freaked. As a matter of fact, it was the very weekend after seeing this commercial I bugged my parents so much to go out and get the necessary components in order to get this guy. We got the Alien vs. Predator 2 pack, which had the advertisement for this particular guy, along with 2 extra Predators so we can take their proofs of purchase and mail them away to the company. Now back then it used to take 5 to 6 weeks for anything you ordered through the mail to... Now back then it used to take 5 to 6 weeks for anything like this to be delivered to your house. Heck, I even forgot that I ordered the darn thing until it arrived at my house. But boy was I happy, and I could hardly wait to take it over to my cousin's house so we can start playing with it. Alright, I don't know how well it holds up, but his armor right here is actually supposed to be made of a reflective silver paint. A lot of it has chipped off on the edges over time, mostly because I stored this guy along with other action figures, so you got things impacting and chipping it off and stuff like that. I have seen this guy actually in a lot of other toy bins at conventions and cons, so he's not treated with as much rarity as I thought he was when I was going to be a kid. But still, I'm happy I have him, and I've actually seen a lot of this chipping and wearing away on a lot of the other action figures out there. I don't know if you'd see one that's really in mint condition, but anyways, this guy's still a cool guy to get. Anyways, let's get into all the details. He has these 2 blades on his hands that that are actually detachable. One just actually kind of just snaps on here. I'm not actually going to force it over here because this plastic does feel kind of rigid and brittle. What we can do is actually slip it on the thin part of the wrist here and just slide it on, and it actually locks into place fairly well. His joints have actually held up pretty well over time, so his arm's a little bit stiff here, and this leg's only a little bit loose, and this one's still pretty is still pretty rigid. But I'm going to take these little things off for right now. His other blade doesn't actually snap on, but what he does is he has a little handle here, so you can hold it in this hand and just kind of place it there, and then it's braced on the back right here, so that the blades are actually different, and it would be easy kind of just to make ones that fit on both, but there's a lot of time and effort put into these things. Let me get that off. Working our way up, he has a black little flexible rubber chest piece here, I guess to make him distinguished from some of the other Predators. I'll get into that in just a second, but this actually just pops right off too, so you can get more of that clear kind of transparency look. His mask is kind of more reminiscent of the actual standard Predator mask, which was a lot like the actual action figure that came with the Alien vs. Predator. It was the 2-pack. That one has the more traditional mask. Other than that, this toy line had all the masks would be kind of customized for each Predator that they had. And this actually pops off. Now on the inside, the face is actually pretty well molded to fit on this thing. It's actually quite a nice negative shape, so that actually makes things stick rather well, and not going to have be afraid that anything's going to pop off too quickly. There's actually only one Predator who the mask didn't actually fit on that well, and turns out that one was my favorite guy, and I lost his mask, but oh well, I'll get into him later in the month. You can kind of see the Predator's face. He has a nice little kind of like a little bit of a black painting, and you can kind of see the green of his eyes, and it's going to be very hard to see. I hope you can see that in there, but there's a lot of nice details on the sculpted into the face.
If you can't see too much of it, don't worry, because this guy is actually I want to say a repaint of the actual Predator that comes in the 2-pack, but he's actually just a recast with the silver, with the clear transparent plastic. So it's a way of cutting costs, but still, it's still kind of neat, because he's not just a repaint, he is actually something kind of really unique with having the clear plastic. He also has this little hole back here. It's going to be hard to see, but that's where you would stick the staff of the original body mold for this guy. Now, the sad things I'd say is I've heard other toy reviewers, and not talking about this guy, but other toy reviewers talk about clear plastic, how it doesn't hold up and it might break over time. The sad fact is playing with this guy, his neck actually did break on me and his head popped off. I was really devastated when it happened, because it was way past when the advertisement was, and so I knew I was never going to be able to get another one. And this was the days before eBay. I could probably order another one offline now and not have to pay too much for them. But what I did was I just took some hot melt glue and glued his head down, so he doesn't have any head of movement. Other than that, his head would move side to side, but as I told you, it popped off, and that was my way of fixing it in the hot melt glue. It's actually, that was probably one of the best ideas I had, because well, I didn't use super glue at the time. I was too young to use it. My parents just wouldn't let me, afraid I might glue my fingers together. But a hot melt glue, because it's actually kind of clear, and it would just blends in really nicely with this guy. So other than that, let me get his armor back on him. This guy is still one of my pride and joys that I actually have this figure, because it was, like I said, he was a mail away. They said it was a limited time offer, so I don't know how many people have him, but he is really nice to have in with the Predator collection. And it was actually back when the sculpts were still kind of good and didn't get too gimmicky. Later lines of the toy, they got a little bit more slightly or cartoony, but this guy is still pretty cool. Anyways, that's been a look at the clear plastic Predator.
Once again, thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen today, please feel free to subscribe or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future. Next week, we'll be taking a look at another Predator action figure.